Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PreStream podcast. I am Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here on this lovely Friday, the 11th of March, 2022. I'm about to say something that has nothing to do with my streams. It's hilarious. It's Freedom Day for us, starting tomorrow. What does that mean? It means as of tomorrow, March 12th, here in my lovely state of Washington, where I have lived for the last almost 8 years now, we can finally not have to wear masks outside anymore. You may be like, huh? Well, where I live, we haven't had masks on in months or, whatever. Yeah, we are a state that had a mask mandate until tomorrow. It's still in effect now. Finally, as of tomorrow, we don't have to wear a mask, despite the fact that I'm triple vaxxed. I do everything right, Finally! So, when I actually have my day off this coming week, I won't have to wear a mask for the first time since, what was it? Last summer, when we took the masks off for literally 3 weeks, and then the mask mandate came back because the next wave hit of COVID. And by the way, no, I'm not making fun of people wearing masks at all. It was incredibly important for a while. But once we all started getting vaccinated, it really didn't, in my opinion, really need to proceed, but our state was one of the hold-off states that made us keep wearing masks forever as if, nothing was ever going to get better. But anyway, I digress. I just had to get that out of the way. Now we can talk about games. Okay? All right, so welcome to the stream, everyone. Today is going to be an action-packed Friday. It is. Why? Because we got 2 games that are absolutely positively going to take all of my attention when I play them. So sadly, today is a no-chill Friday, just being honest with you guys, okay? There's not going to be tons of open conversation and interaction during the gameplay segments of my streams. It's just not possible when I'm playing Elden Ring or when I'm playing competitive Street Fighter online. It's just, I need to be hyper-focused on what's going on in the game, and that's okay. We have our chill streams. Yesterday, we had a major chill stream of Skyrim. Tomorrow, Horizon Forbidden West will be the late stream. That'll come back. But there's not much we can do about it when I'm playing these games where you got to be so hyper-focused on the game or else you're dead or you lose, right? Fair enough. So let's talk a little bit about the schedule for the weekend. Let's talk a little bit about how everything's been going on around here. And then, actually, today, I don't have much for you guys on the PreStream podcast. There's, nothing going on in gaming news. There's really nothing, of too much importance to speak of in regards to my channel or anything like that at this point. Things are going smoothly and swimmingly. I'm making nice, solid progress every day that I've been playing Elden Ring nonstop, which is good. Which is exactly what I intended. I hoped that if I played Elden Ring every day that we'd make good progress and maybe we'd beat one area of the game a week, which it looks like I'm on pace to do. If I keep playing Elden Ring every day, likely I'll beat Liurnia this weekend, and then we can move on to another region of the map for next week, you see? And that's kind of a good idea, rather than me playing Limgrave for almost 2 weeks, which was ridiculous, okay? So, first of all, let's just talk about the schedule. Let's get that out of the way, okay? Today, Elden Ring on the first stream, all right? Right now. And as of last night, I did some nice exploration on the first ever late night Elden Ring stream. We really fully explored these outskirts of Liurnia. Found some interesting stuff. Found the map just to find out that there's a bunch of stuff I hadn't seen, but people are telling me it's actually end game. You can't get there till the end of the game, which is why it's weird that it shows all these things you couldn't reach if you were just normally exploring. So I was having a good time, and at the very end of the stream, someone says something to me that is like a eureka moment, but it makes me feel really stupid. Okay, so we're in the last 10-15 minutes of the stream last night, and someone says to me, Phil, aren't you aware that in FromSoft games, in particular Dark Souls games with magic builds, you're supposed to be leveling your catalyst, because when you level the catalyst, it scales your magic based on certain stats, and if you level the catalyst up, the scaling might even get better, and your magic is going to dramatically improve in strength. It's not just about the build of your character. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, just level faith. It's about actually the catalyst you're using. And I said, well, don't you have, excuse me. don't you have anything to level your catalyst? And I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I remember in previous Dark Souls games, there is leveling of the catalyst, but it wasn't like it is in this game. In the previous games, it was like you had to go to a special vendor, have special items to do it. In this one, they treat the catalyst just like any other weapon, and you can level it at a blacksmith, okay? So I'm like, all right, let's try it. So I go to the blacksmith. Now, keep in mind, I haven't leveled a normal weapon since the beginning of the game. At the very beginning of the game, I was using the regular sword, and a regular halberd and a spear. I was using regular weapons, but as soon as I found that curved sword, I forget what it's called. It's the one that basically that dancer boss, Bloodhound Knight, which basically is the dancer from Dark Souls 3. Once I got that weapon, I started using that one, and that's a specialty weapon that uses the smoldering stones to upgrade. And then I got the golden halberd. I was able to use it when I finally had the stats for it, and since then, that's all I've used, and that's also smoldering. So, literally, for like 20 plus hours of gameplay, I've just been sitting here gathering smithing stones and never using them. So I have like a giant inventory of smithing stones. So I go to the blacksmith. I go, okay, so here's my catalyst. All right, level it up, level 1. Okay, cool. Oh, I can keep going. All right, level 2. Oh, look, the scaling's actually going up a little bit. That's kind of nice. Level 3. Wow, so the magic's going up. Level 4. Oh, now it's going from like a D scaling to a C scaling. So actually, you'll be even more. And by the way, my catalyst is scaled off of strength and faith, the two stats I've been doing all along. Okay? So I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, this is going to be pretty good. Let's keep going. Level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8, level 9, level 10. I got my catalyst from level 0 to level 10. And my magic doubled. My magic damage literally doubled. So now one lightning bolt does more damage than me smashing you with a heavy attack of my my golden halberd. Okay. Cool, I guess. Now, of course, my problem here is going to be I don't have any FP. Like, I haven't been leveling FP because up to this point, it's always been golden halberd, golden halberd. So now I need to start leveling things like FP so that I'm going to have enough to use this pretty much non-stop. And what I may actually start doing is change my flask assignment. And I might actually have it so that now I have less healing and more FP restoration flasks. If I'm going to be using faith magic constantly, right? And it's going to be doing giant chunks of damage to every enemy I fight, it makes sense. Now, in addition to that, I'm actually getting my faith build higher and higher, so it's just going to keep increasing that way too. And there's actually much better faith spells coming up that I'll be able to use if I just keep leveling faith. I just got one yesterday. It was an optional boss fight in one of those cairns or whatever they're called. And it was a big fat dude casting these giant fireball spells that were hitting the ground, exploding, giant radius of explosion. I thought, oh, that's got to be like pyromancy, which doesn't exist in this game apparently. Or it's got to be like standard magic. No, it's faith. It's faith build. I'm like, damn, so like some of the best skills in the game are faith build skills. Now that I need level 41. So I'm only, at this point, I want to say like level 24, level 25 in faith. So it's going to be a grind to get there. But I'm like, damn, that spell could be sick. I got to keep working on it, right? So that's kind of my focus now is I think I'm pretty much done with strength. I don't see a reason to really be leveling my strength much anymore. My halberd's pretty damn good as it is. But if I keep going with faith, not only am I going to level up the halberd more, but also I'm going to level up my magic use. So, and of course, like I said, I'm going to need some more FP for sure. So that's kind of my focus moving forward. So last night, it was like an epiphany at the end of the stream, like, oh shit, why haven't I been leveling my catalyst? One of the things from many, previous FromSoft games you forget about. And then boom, immediately I double my damage output. I'm like, fuck. So today, in Dark Souls 4, also known as Elden Ring, I will be continuing to explore Liurnia. We have a cave we're going to be looking for. There's an NPC we're supposed to find in a cave for story purposes. And then we can go northeast. There's another minor Erd tree up to the northeast that we can explore. And then up to the northeast, there's like a little mini castle thing. But then to the northwest, there's a big castle thing. And I don't know what those are. We could at least give them a look. And then finally, I mean, that's exploration of the whole area. Then we can go to the academy, which I think is actually where you're supposed to go to advance the story. I believe that's where the next legacy dungeon is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay? So, that's the plan for today. Now, what's actually kind of funny is yesterday I made an observation with all of you, and I made the observation, then immediately fought a boss that confirmed the observation, and then I fought another boss last night that I wasn't aware was actually confirming my observation even further because I steamrolled the boss. All right? So I made an observation yesterday, okay? I said, you know, I've been saying that Elden Ring seems to be the amalgamation of everything that From Software has done so far. There's tons of elements from Demons and Dark Souls, but there's also some elements from Sekiro and from Bloodborne all combined in this game, okay? But what I didn't realize at first was that there are actual bosses in Elden Ring that are literally reskins of Dark Souls bosses. Like, I'm not saying, oh, they're similar. They are the same bosses from previous Dark Souls games, just with different skins and a different name. But a lot of people wouldn't realize that, especially if you haven't played the previous games. You wouldn't know that they've reused these assets directly one-to-one. So one of the things that is a reuse is there are these guardians that are standing outside of the minor Erd trees, the little smaller versions of the ginormous tree you always see in the background in the game. And so they're called Erd tree avatars, okay? And I fought one early on in the game. It was actually down in Limgrave. And I didn't realize what it was at the time because I was just kind of like messing around, you know, to beat him. And then I was rewatching someone else play Limgrave a day or two ago with my wife. We've been watching a few different people play the game and see their takes on it and what they think about it and how they approach it. We've been watching both pro-level players and not pro-level players just to get an idea. And he starts to fight the Avatar. I'm like, wait a minute. It's the Stray Demon. It's literally Stray Demon from Dark Souls 3. It's not even different. They didn't even try to change it. He has the same weapon. He has the same exact attack animations. He has the same butt slam that's very synonymous with Stray Demon. And he even has he puts his you know, weapon into the ground. Magic comes up. It's exactly the same fight without a difference. I was like, damn, they totally just reskinned it. Now, in my opinion, is that a big deal? Not really. Is this a major boss in the game or whatever? No. They're just meant to be like the defense bosses, you know, standing in front of the trees. It's not a huge deal, I don't think. So then last night, I went to an optional area. I won't spoil where the area is or whatever, but there was a boss called the Omen Killer. Now, I steamrolled this boss. I came in on my horse, and I just went zoop, zoop, boop, 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 and beat the living shit out of it, and it died within a few seconds. So I didn't even get to see what this thing could do. Really, I didn't even get to see its attack pattern. It looked like a normal enemy to me, but it had a boss health bar. Okay. Then last night, I was watching someone else. Actually, this was a pro-level player go to this very same area in the game, and this person, for some reason, just doesn't like riding the horse. I don't know why. The horse, you know, Torrent is really good, especially once you learn how to use it properly. It's a really good thing to use in the game, to utilize in combat, especially. So he wants to fight this boss head up. And as he's fighting the boss, I'm realizing something. Omen Killer is literally the Capra Demon from Dark Souls 1. Not even changed at all. Same exact weapons, same animations. There's dogs in the arena that attack you when you're trying to fight him to make it just as hard as the original fight in Dark Souls 1. The only difference is there's no staircase. The one problem with the Capra Demon in Dark Souls 1 is there was constant staircase. The room was narrow with a staircase, so it was very hard to get away from anything. In this case, it's not a staircase. They made it more of a round area to fight. But it was weird. I'm watching like, it's the same fucking guy. So I'm looking at it like, wow, I wonder how many bosses from previous Dark Souls games they literally just copy-pasted. And considering the length of this game, I wouldn't be surprised if they did this a lot. Okay? Now, in addition to that, I've already fought 2 identical dragons, except that the second dragon had more attacks than the first. Okay? I've fought what they call the Watchdog boss inside of optional dungeons 3 times already, and I'm only in the second part of the game. So what I'm sadly starting to see here okay, is I think Elden Ring is falling into the same pattern as a game like Neo, right? Neo. Those games are actually much longer than most FromSoft games, but they reuse assets constantly. It's very rare in a Neo game that you're going to be fighting a unique enemy or boss unless it's a big story-based event. Everything in the game gets reused over and over and over. And now I'm realizing because they went, you know, open world in Elden Ring, that it just seems like they couldn't get away from that. Now here's the thing: if you're someone who's played all the From Software games before, maybe it feels awesome to be fighting and be like, wow, I'm fighting Stray Demon again. This is pretty cool. This is like what do they call it? An Easter egg or an homage to people who've played the previous games. It's kind of like nice to see maybe a little bit of familiarity. At the same time, do I want to fight Stray Demon like 7 times in this game? Probably not, but it looks like I'm going to have to, because I think that those Erd Tree avatars are in front of every minor Erd Tree, and so you just have to keep fighting them, which is kind of annoying. So I guess we'll see as we get further into the game and new areas. Keep in mind, I've only been in 2 areas. I mean, yes, I've been in Caelid, but I don't count it because I didn't really explore or do anything there. I was just riding around like an asshole, hitting, you know, bonfires, and then I got out of there. So maybe eventually, okay, we'll get to a point where I'll notice that every area is reusing the same assets constantly, and that'll be boring. I don't know. I hope that's not the case. I hope that there's enough originality and enough uniqueness to each area that after 3-4 areas, it doesn't feel like, okay, same fucking thing again. There's going to be minor Erd Trees with the same enemies. There's going to be giants who are shooting arrows. There's going to be this. You know what I'm saying? I hope it's not the same throughout the entirety of the game. I guess we'll see. All right. So, anyway, that's just an observation I made. Anyway, I say anyway, Elden Ring right now on the first stream. Anyway. Then tonight, it's Friday Night Fights at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's time for old school Street Fighter fun. Now, just to clear the air here, I have not talked to Grog since last week. We actually had a bunch of fucking assholes coming into the stream chat trying to impersonate Grog, and look like he was here, and he wasn't. Since Friday last week, I have not talked to him. So I don't know if he would want to play tonight or anything. That's up to him, but I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to assume the answer is no. And what we're going to do is go back to random lobbies and joining and see if we can find people. One of the sad things about last week was I had not played Street Fighter for about 3 weeks, and when we came back last week and I tried to do random lobbies on PlayStation, I couldn't find anyone. There were no lobbies. And I was like, damn, did this game die in the interim that I didn't play it for like 3 weeks? That kind of sucks. I hope not. But then, when I went over to the Xbox version of the game, guess what? There were people playing in lobbies, which actually hadn't happened before, and the matches were quite good. So, I'm happy that I own both versions of the game. If we end up having issues tonight, finding people on PlayStation, we could easily switch over and try to play on Xbox, and hopefully that'll go a little better. Okay? Tomorrow, it'll be more Elden Ring on the first stream, and hopefully at that point, we'll be doing Endgame Liurnia, like maybe heading into the Academy if we don't today. And then tomorrow night's going to be more Horizon Forbidden West. I am actually going to opt to do some side content this time around, after several streams where most of my focus was on main story progression. I think that we could do some side content because there's a few story-based missions that are based on your companions. You know, the people who you've teamed up with over the course of the game and who you've helped or they helped you. Now there's missions that are unique to them that have unlocked, and I want to try to do some of them to see if they're any good. So we'll try some of those out Saturday night, and if they're good, great, and if not, if they suck, fuck it. We'll just do the story, okay? So there you go. And by the way, yes, that will definitely be a chill stream. There'll be a lot more opportunity for interaction and that kind of deal. While I know for a fact when I'm here playing Elden Ring and playing Street Fighter tonight, I'm going to have to be focused on the game most often than not. Okay? Okay. Then on Sunday, we flip the streams to end my streaming week. It's going to be Skyrim on the first stream. And then it's going to be Elden Ring on the late stream. Okay? And that's the end of my streaming week. Maybe. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like my wife is about to get a different work schedule. I've told you guys about this over the last few weeks that, you know, she's been shifting around and having a lot of changes with her job and everything. And for a few weeks, it was working out nice, basically. Okay. Where every Monday was our day off. Okay. But now it looks like this week it may not be. And if that's the case, then I have to shift the schedule around. And what can I do? I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. All right. As soon as I get word of what's going on here with her job and her schedule, I'll let you know and we'll figure it out. You know, there's definitely a day off coming. Like, if we don't have Monday off, it's got to be like Tuesday because we're not gonna have enough food to make meals in the house. Okay. I know. I hope that she can get a consistent schedule at this point. It's been I don't want to say it's been a nightmare. It's not that bad, but it's very frustrating when life is based off of a work schedule, and no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to emphasize with multiple people or managers or positions or whatever it may be, that I need a consistent work schedule and no one will give it to you. No matter how, you know what I mean? It's sad because, like I've told you guys, you know, Kat has really worked hard, especially during this entire COVID thing the last 2 years, to stay healthy. She's busted her ass, and she's luckily, thank God, never gotten it, because she would be the one to get it. She's the one working with people in person every freaking day she goes to work. And she's been great about it, you know? She stayed healthy, she stayed clean, washing, disinfecting, you know, everything that you're supposed to do right, she's done right, and luckily we've all stayed healthy because of it. And it would be like, you know, can we please just have some consistency so we can plan? Like, here's the thing. When you have a schedule that's never set, you can't even plan for anything. Like, we couldn't do anything for Valentine's Day because we didn't know when her schedule was. We would like to plan something for my birthday week. We can't. It's shit. It really is. Like, why can't these jobs take stuff more seriously and say, okay, here's your schedule every week. All right, maybe there'll be extenuating circumstances once in a while, but here's what you're going to work this week, every week. They won't do it. It seems like unless you're in a certain type of occupation, you just can't get that. They just don't care, or maybe the management just isn't good enough. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I don't work at these jobs at this point. But, you know, back when I had retail jobs, at least I remember it wasn't consistent. I know the hours changed every week, but it was like at least within a range, so I had a plan and I would kind of know. But it's like, it just sucks, man. It does. It sucks. So it is what it is. I wish that I could still tell you, oh, yeah, we're here on Monday, or I'm off on Monday. I can't. I'll let you know as soon as I know, all right? Okay. All right, that's it for that. So now next week, what's going to happen next week? Next week, there's going to be a balance between Elden Ring on the main streams, and yes, probably some more Skyrim main streams. The night streams are still going to continue to be Horizon. Balanced with Elden Ring on the days when Elden Ring becomes a night stream, we'll flip it in there. And yes, there'll be Street Fighter. Now, next week there is a new release. It's Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, okay? I'll be honest with you. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not impressed by the game. I played the beta last year. I thought that the basic combat was kind of interesting, but the boss fight was a joke, okay? It was ridiculously stupid how bad the boss fight was. It was a huge knockoff of Dark Souls that was nowhere near as good as Dark Souls gameplay. It just made it felt kind of lame. Since then, all right, I haven't seen or heard anything to convince me that the game's any better. Most people are kind of like, it might be all right, but I don't think there's anyone looking at this game and are freaking out and saying, oh, it's going to be so good, man. For me, the big games of this month are at the very tail end of the month. I'm very excited in Ghostwire Tokyo. Looks completely unique and interesting. And you know what? Kirby, to some extent. Why? There hasn't been a Kirby game in a long time. I haven't played a Kirby game in a long time, and I think that would give me a new chill game to put into the rotation. By the way, by the end of the month, I'll probably have beaten Horizon, and I'll be looking for a game to put into a chill games rotation. You see? So, I am not convinced at all about this Final Fantasy game. If you guys know better than me and think that it would be a really great game for the streams or whatever, okay. But I'm really not convinced that it's something that I want to play. But if it might be the opposite. Maybe it'll be, like, reviewed well. And people will be like, wow, it's actually maybe it'll be the next Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Where everything we've seen up to this point, nothing was too convincing. but when the game actually comes out, it's way better than anything we've seen. Maybe it could be just a market. Could you imagine another marketing fuck up by Square Enix? Could you really fathom that? No way that they could fuck up another game with their marketing, right? So, let's see what happens. Maybe if it ends up being a good game, I'll get it. But right now, I'm not putting it into the schedule as a definite because I'm not convinced it's going to be good. Okay? So, my focus will still be Elden Ring, some Skyrim mixed in, Horizon at night, some Street Fighter, you know, and then alternating Elden Ring and Skyrim every once in a while to flip the stream so that's not always the same thing every night. You see? I think that's a good way to go about it for the next week. And then when we're reaching the end of the month, then we reassess as I start to beat some of these games. And, you know, in particular, Horizon, I know we're going to beat probably within the next 1 to 2 weeks. And then we can jump into new stuff at the end of the month. Okay? Okay. Good. Okay. So, outside of all of that, what else is going on? Not that much. The month continues to be a good one for everything here on DSPGaming. Viewership is up because of Elden Ring for sure. Engagement is good. People are giving likes every stream. I will say this, for the most part, people who are watching Elden Ring are liking the videos. I hate to say it, though, because Elden Ring seems to be the main feature of everything on the internet right now, gaming-wise. Other things are kind of falling by the wayside. What I mean by that is, are there people still watching Horizon or Skyrim or Street Fighter? Yes. But is engagement great on those? Not really. It's kind of like, you know, you get a few views, a few likes here or there. It's really Elden Ring stuff that's getting most of the views and likes and comments and everything. I'm okay with that, but man, if you guys are watching the other playthroughs, please remember, if you like the video, give it a like, please leave a comment. That helps the channel a lot. And to see that little bit of fall off is a little bit disappointing because that was overall helping the channel, and I don't want the channel to only be Elden Ring. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm a variety streamer. I don't want people to come here and think, well, he's just playing Elden Ring and that's it. It's actually not the case, okay? Now, keep in mind, there's a few other games that eventually could come into the schedule or come back into the schedule. For example, Dying Light 2 has been on hiatus now, and I was 15 hours in, and the game was just getting good. If eventually people want to see it come back, we could bring it back. Martha is Dead is a horror game from last month that I was interested in playing, and I didn't do it. Maybe we could do that at some point, okay? And also, of course, WWE 2K22. The game's out now. Most people who've played it are saying it's quite good, actually. It's not disappointing at all. The graphics are great. The gameplay has been refined. The thing is, with a game like that, I mean, you got a story mode, and then what are you going to do? My Career or Sims? And then later on, you do stuff with the created content. It's not like the game has so much content to it until some time passes. Then you're going to have all this created content you could use on the internet. But for now, it's kind of like limited, right? Excuse me. So, we have options as things start to wind down this month, right? As things, you know, maybe I beat Horizon and, you know, we're getting near the end of the month. Maybe we could bring some more stuff back. Albeit, even if it's just temporarily, I think we could do that. Ellipsian says, don't forget the Forgotten City. That's right. Remember that I did tell you guys that at some point I would like to go back to the Forgotten City and finish it. I didn't do the final ending, but the problem is the final ending takes longer than 2 hours to do. So it would maybe have to be like a one-off major stream of me running around doing a bunch of shit, trying to complete objectives and side quests to do it. So we'll see, okay? But for now, we've got a good, we've definitely got a good schedule going. And I just want to keep going with that for now. What's working is working. Let's keep it moving, okay? You guys know the deal. You guys know that I'm a full-time streamer. You guys know that my life's blood is your crowdfunding. Even though, yes, do I make ad revenue on YouTube? Yes. Do I make a lot? No. No, I do not. It's not a ton. It's really based on things such as memberships, super chats, super stickers, and tips that I make a living. So if you like the content, if you're enjoying everything I'm doing, first, give it a like. You know, you're watching the stream right now. We got over 300 people on the stream. Please give it a like if you're enjoying the stream. But also, consider contributing if you can in any of the other ways. You know, we have tips, goals, in effect. If we raise $50 on a stream, I put on my glasses. Gunner glasses, that is. For $100, you guys get to vote on a hat for me to wear. And every time I play Elden Ring, it seems to be the real-life Dumas hat. So we'll see what goes with that. And then, of course, if we do it the full tips goal, then it would be a vest, all right? Normally, I would say, okay, guys, it's time for us to do shout-outs at this point. But there's 0 contributions on today's stream so far. So I have absolutely nothing to shout out. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to open up the stream to some Q&A. We're going to let you guys toss questions my way, and I'm going to answer them. And we'll do that for a bit until maybe we get bored, and then we'll jump right into Elden Ring. Okay? Welcome back, DTF Steak Fries, who announces he's now back on my streams. Okay. All right. So, what's going on? Let's see what people have to say, because it'll take about 20, 30 seconds for them to hear what I have to say because of the stupid stream delay. And we'll see if people have any questions. Okay? Ooh. How am I doing? I'm doing good. A little bit of a frog in my throat today, but actually, my post-nasal drip is not that bad. Knock on wood. Because if I sneeze or something, it'll actually bother me today, and it hasn't really been bothering me today, which is a good thing. It's good to have a day when you kind of feel a little cleared up. So I hope that it remains that way. Cracker Jack says, is my birthday coming up? Yes. So my birthday is in the first week of April. It's April 6th. And typically what I do is that first week of April, I decorate the office for the birthday stuff. And sometimes I even do a special birthday celebration. Like I'll do like a marathon stream or something silly just for my birthday, just to be silly. This year, I really wanted to do a co-celebration. What I was hoping is that we were going to hit 200,000 subs on DSPGaming by my birthday. That was my goal. It ain't going to happen. It looks like as of today or tomorrow, we will likely hit 197,000 subs. And then maybe if I keep consistently playing Elden Ring, and maybe if we see a little bit of a boost at the end of the month, with things like Ghostwire Tokyo, maybe we'll hit like 198,000 if I get lucky. But I just don't foresee getting 3,000 more people to come to the channel who've never checked it out before and subscribing by my birthday. I just don't think it's happening. So, sadly, it was a nice goal to try to work towards. And by the way, yes, the channel is growing in popularity. There's more people watching. There's more people engaging. It's good. It's growth. It's just slow growth. And there's nothing I can do to make that growth speed up when YouTube isn't instituting anything to make streaming on YouTube more appealing to the viewer. They've claimed they were going to do that. It's now been almost half a year, and they have not literally flipped the switch on anything. So I can't do much about it. So my birthday's coming up, first week of April. Likely you'll see, I'll probably get some nice decorations or whatever for the setup here for that week. Will there be a special birthday thing going on? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll think about it. But, you know, that's about it. Nothing too crazy special or anything. Puck Factor, yes, I'm playing WWE 2K22, just not now. I've explained this till I've been blue in the face all week. I guess people still aren't listening. I'm not playing it now because I'm too busy with Elden Ring, which is such a long game. It doesn't make sense for me to play it less. I need to play it more if I'm ever going to beat it. And I need to focus in on all these other games like Horizon that I've been playing now for the greater part of a month and finish those up before I start playing new game after new game after new game. WWE is not a game you need to rush into because there's not a major story-based game where everyone's judging progress against each other. It's kind of the opposite. So I will eventually play WWE when we have a chance, and it's not now. Okay? Slidman, yes, I do feel that From Software should make a different kind of game at this point. I think like everything From Software is doing is the same now, which is fine if you like that formula. But eventually, I mean, they're a very talented studio, right? How many times will they remake the same game? Just being honest, like, I think they should do something different. Now, I'm not saying I want them to stop making the Soulsborne style games. I'm just saying, dude, I get it. Elden Ring is now the amalgamation and epitome of everything you've made up to now. But let's do something new now. Maybe something original would be nice. You know? Swaggin says they are actually gearing up. They're going to make a new installment of Armored Core, which should be awesome. Admittedly, I have never played Armored Core. I've heard of it. I used to, when I used to, you know, play games back in the day, I used to see Armored Core in the stores and stuff. I never tried it, so I don't know really anything about it. Ross Hardy says, what does Capcom need to do to make Street Fighter 6 better than Street Fighter 5? I swear to God, I get the same questions every time I do Q&A. All right, you ready? The same ad nauseum answer. They need to re-add elements to the game that were lost with Street Fighter V when they dumbed down the game for the common player. For example, less input delay from the get-go. This, by default, will make the game that you react to more things on reaction rather than playing a pattern play. Footsies need to be re-added. Actually having characters that are archetypes. For example, the full-ranged character build, the hybrid build, the up-close build. These things need to be restored. In Street Fighter V, every character was just play one pattern, win. With no exception. It was boring. It was repetitive, and it literally threw out a ton of the gameplay elements that made competitive fighting games fun and or challenging at a high level. It sucked. So they need to re-add those things in and forget about, oh, let's just make it so that anyone can play this game for 2 hours, watch a video online, and now they can do an 80% combo or a pattern that just constantly resets 100 times so they can win a match online. Fuck that. Make it so that it's actually competitive and fun at a high level, or else you made a piece of shit. Which is what Street Fighter V was. It was a piece of shit. Okay. D-Money says, if I donate WWE, will you play it right now? No. I just said we don't have time for it right now. I'm focusing in on what I'm playing. Eventually, I will play WWE, but not now. No, I'm not doing anything Irish themed for St. Patrick's Day. I don't even know when St. Patrick's Day is. I have no idea. Do I think the new Street Fighter will be any good? I have no idea. We haven't seen a single bit of it. Which is disheartening, actually, because the game's been in development supposedly for several years, and the fact that they're not willing to show us any of it yet, even during the announcement, what was it, a few weeks ago, they showed zero gameplay, means that maybe they're not confident in it. So, no, I don't really know, man. Bottom tip me $15 and says, bamboozled again. Okay? I don't know what that means, because you're actually the top tip. You're not the bottom tip. Maybe that's the bamboozling, because your name is bottom tip, but you're the top tip. Thanks for the tip. Derek is awesome, tipped $1.50 and says, what's the difference between the PreStream podcast and the Daily Wrap, and play WWE 2K and Ultra Street Fighter 4? The PreStream podcast is a live streamed show that I do every morning. What I do is I use this opportunity to catch up on many topics, including maybe how things are going on the channel right now, anything important that I have to talk about with the scheduling, but also gaming news and other kinds of topics in that vein. And then usually we have shout outs for people who've live contributed and maybe some Q&A. The Daily Wrap is a very abridged short show that I do only for the YouTube viewers. It's not meant for live stream viewers. It's meant only for those who watch on demand. It's a quick way to do a recap of what happened that day. It's usually less than 10 minutes long. It's just boom, 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 and done. It's night and day, completely different. Yes, every once in a while there's a retreaded topic, but for the most part, Daily Wrap, incredibly quick summary of what happened in one day, just for on-demand viewers. This is way different of a show. Long format interaction, very different. Okay. Martin says, now that you made it out of Limgrave and now you're into the second part of the game, what are your impressions? As I said, I really like the game. The game is growing on me the more I play it. And I do feel like, sadly, the game does have a really slow build, even though it's unlike some of these games where it's like 15 hours before you play the real game. I mean, you're playing the real game at the first moment you play it. But for me, a couple things are great and a couple things are annoying. The great things are the beauty of the world, the discovery aspect, that you never know what you're going to find around the next corner, and then when you find something cool, you're like, ooh, right? It's kind of neat. I love the horse. At first, the horse I thought was a little clunky. I'm liking the horse more and more the more I play on it, and I'm learning how to maneuver it and use it effectively in boss fights and the like, which is really nice. I like the fact that the game retains the feel of classic FromSoft in certain areas like legacy dungeons or these optional dungeons, but then it has the open world aspect as well. In a lot of ways, it almost feels like you're playing two different games, but that's a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about the game. Here's what I don't like about the game, okay? Number one, again, you don't know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. And if it wasn't for the viewers helping me, I would have missed all of the content of Limgrave. Not once does the game say, hey, go south, go east. They tell you go north. They're telling you to go to the next part of the game that you're not supposed to do till you get all the shit south and east. Why? What's so hard about saying, hey, if you want to turbo through the plot, go north. But you know what? There's some really neat stuff to the south and east that you could use to level up before you get there. Is it too hard to have an NPC tell you that? Apparently so. Apparently FromSoft, there's still a bunch of cryptic dicks who feel like telling you the least amount of information about their game is the best way to go about it. So most people who are playing are skipping all the stuff that we need to get better. You know, it's stupid in that regard. They should be fucking telling you that nonsense. And it pisses me off. It does. And I've already explained to you at the beginning of the playthrough, I still hate the fact that here we are in 2022, and there's still big input delay between when you try to react to something. Oh, here comes an attack. Roll. Get hit anyway, because the roll's so delayed. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yesterday, okay, I wanted to throw a lightning bolt. I pressed the button, so it was going to start the animation. My guy got knocked down, got back up, and threw the lightning bolt. I got knocked down. Why is it coming out after? What is with that? And I know, oh, that's the FromSoft way, but it's stupid. In real life, if I have a sword and I'm going to swing it and someone hits me and I fall down, when I get up, do I then by default have to go through with my swing? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and they're still doing it. Okay? They're still fucking doing that shit. It's so dumb. And another thing, the hit detection. It's still bad. Why is it that there's a boss the size of the fucking Chrysler building standing in front of me? I have a giant fucking weapon, and I'm swinging wildly in front of me. It's right in front. It's like, miss, miss, miss. Get the fuck out of here. It's time to be realistic and make the hitboxes realistic. Not the boss has a hitbox like this, but your hitbox is like this. Oh, I have an area of effect attack that blows up the floor 4 miles around me. So you have to roll perfectly to avoid it. But if you try to hit me, it's like, I'm dainty. Look at me dancing around your strikes. It's fucking stupid. And there's even iframes that don't make sense. Like yesterday, there's a situation where you have to fight a red invader. The red invader jumps at me and does an attack. There is not supposed to be invincibility during jump attacks. But the red invader has it. I jump attacked him during his jump attack. My attack passes through his body completely. His attack hits me. Why? Why? It doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. It's just, there's so many things they could do to improve this game, but FromSoft never improves it and always gets a pass because people are like, oh, that's the charm of FromSoft. No, that's bad game development. That's bad combat. That should be improved, but you give them a pass because you're fucking... you stroke their balls constantly and don't shut the fuck up about it, so the game will never improve. The game could play way better. If this game, in my opinion, this is my opinion, you can completely disagree. If this game became more action-based, more reactive to what you're doing. Oh, I press the button, immediately my dodge comes out. Oh my god, the hitboxes make sense. The game would play better. In fact, what would happen is people would have to get really good at combat, and the whole game would be fast-paced. Imagine every time you run into a boss, okay, here he goes, dodge, strike, oh, dodge, strike, strike, strike. Oh, now a giant area of effect, gotta roll perfectly, but you time it right. Oh, cool. Counterattack, stagger, knock him down. It could be so cool and fast-paced. Instead, it's like, okay, here's a boss. Here comes his slow as molasses attack. Let me see him do it 3 times first, so I see the exact animation, so I can time my dodge early to dodge through it, because the dodge takes so fucking long to come out, and then see if there's a giant opportunity for me to counterattack him with a couple strikes, because God forbid I try to hit him with a combo, because you know he's going to try to attack me again, and I can't react to that quick enough to dodge the attack, especially if I try to do an animation for an attack, because then it's queued up, and I'm stuck in the fucking animation and can't interrupt it, because that's how the game's been made since the beginning, and they never improved it. So that's just a couple ways they can improve the game, in my opinion. Still a great game. But man, there's always room for improvement. And the fact that people ignore the room for improvement suggestions is, it's just FromSoft. Give them a pass. It's good as it is. You'll never get a better game. That's why you're playing Elden Ring, which is basically Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro together. And you're not playing Elden Ring, a game that feels original. Because it really doesn't. It feels like improvements upon what you've already done, which is fine. I like that. But it could have been something bigger and better, and it's not. It's literally reskin our past bosses, same exact gameplay elements, because you fucking just tell them do the same thing over and over. You tell them that, they won't improve. Okay. Pluck My Pubes tipped me $1.50 and says, will you be will you be playing the Star Wars? I can't read. Will you be playing Lego Star Wars on April 5th? It's going to be massive and the biggest and best Lego game to date. I'm hearing more and more good things about it, and I think I will check it out. It sounds good to me. Pluck My Pubes. Thank you for the tip. James Tiberius Kirk tipped me $5. Says, how do you feel about a post-currency era like in my lifetime or my timeline? We're so technologically advanced that the pursuit of money is no longer the main objective, and making society a better place is the primary focus. Would you freeze yourself? You know, as idealistic and nice as that sounds, a society where everyone is so well off and everyone has enough of everything. There's enough food and water, enough electricity, enough fuel, safety, you know, health. Everything is so readily available. Healthcare, right? Everything is so readily available, unlimited amounts to everyone, that no one ever cares about currency anymore because everyone has everything they need. You don't need money anymore. Everything is readily available that you'll ever need. So now instead it's about technological advancement and, you know, like you said, discovery and things like that, right? That'll be great. I really don't think it will ever happen because of human nature. You know, human nature is, well, I got to get more for myself and fuck everyone else. It's just true. You can't have a society where everyone has everything they need if you have people hoarding the things that they can get. You see what I'm saying? And by the way, no, I'm not trying to say that communism is the way to go. What I'm trying to say is, like, if anything, take a look at what happened in these last 2 years with COVID, right? We had people who were literally looking at the greater good. I will sacrifice my personal freedoms. I will sacrifice my comfort, my time on this planet, the amount of fun and or enjoyment I get out of it, right? For the sake of others. I will sacrifice things that would make my life better, right? In order to help others. I will get vaccinated. I will wear the mask, you know, job status changing. You know, I will do I will not gather en masse. I will not do this. I will not do that, because I recognize that if I do that, I'm putting others around me at risk who may be at higher risk of dying from this virus. And then you had people who were literally like, oh, I don't care about you. I don't care about anyone around me. It's all about me. It's all about my personal belief that I'm better than everyone else and I should have everything that I ever want instantly. How dare you tell me to wear a mask or to get vaccinated or to not go to the bar and not go to a ball game and not go to a mass gathering and not see my relatives at Christmas and not do this and not do that, because these are things that are part of my way of life. And if you're changing my way of life, then I don't want to live anymore. So fuck you, I'll do what I want. I don't care if all these people die around me. Who gives a shit? Okay? And when you see that, okay, when you see that, you realize human nature is fucking corrupted at this point. Like, damn, these people are so dumb in their heads. They don't understand what the word greater good even means. They just don't get it. They've never even had that education, that morality put into them, maybe by their parents. They just don't have that. And when you see a large chunk of society behave like that, you will never get to a point in human life where everyone just has everything unlimited. You won't, because there's going to be people who will always hoard and gather for themselves and fuck everyone else around me. I don't care about everyone else's welfare or well-being. And that's what it would have to be, a society where everyone works enough that everyone helps each other out, that we can get to that point. There's too many people who are of a mindset that we're not supposed to do that. It's all about me, me, me. So, listen, would I absolutely love for life to be like the Star Trek future? Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get there. I think it's definitely science fiction, not science fact. Okay? Lick my shit to me $1.50. Says, happy Friday. Honest question, not trolling. Who do viewers, especially detractors, say you have a scat fetish? Because they're stupid. I make some silly jokes about farts and shit and stuff like that. Am I constantly being like over the top gross about it? No. Every once in a while I'll be silly, but just because I make frequent jokes about something like that, they have to put it into something negative. Just like previously, I used to be a guy who over the top did jokes about sexualized stuff all the time. And back then, they're too many sexual jokes, Phil. Oh, you're just a horn dog and you're an immature, shithead who just makes sexual jokes. So I cut the sexual jokes out. Oh, now you make too many scat, fart jokes and poop jokes. Okay, so what's next? Right? What if I just do knock-knock jokes? Oh, too many knock-knock jokes. So fuck off. Really, it's called moving the goalpost, and these people are just scumbags, and I don't care about what they have to say. They can lick my shit. There you go. Okay. All right. Anything else, guys? Ali Corny, I doubt at this point we're ever playing Inscription, especially for the fact that you spam it in stream chat constantly, and I don't care. Zoya looks like did a super chat. So are you worried about stagnating member growth? I'm not at this point, Zoya. I'm really not, and here's why. Because support in other ways is great. Like, I've noticed over the last month, okay, super chats, okay, as well as tips are quite good. In fact, they've increased in the last month. I'd be honest with you, they did. I've noticed concretely, with all the new releases and everything that came out, it was an increase. Everything on the channel has increased, except members. And that includes viewership, engagement, the click-through rate, or whatever the fuck the stat, CRM, CTR, CDI, whatever the hell it's called, that YouTube gauges channel performance on. The channel's doing better. Like, everything on the channel is doing better right now in the last 30 to 45 days. And on top of that, other forms of support have been good too. The one thing that hasn't gone up is memberships. And as I told you guys, I can't make you become a member when YouTube won't put in the effort to put in better features for members. I've done the extent of what I can do. I wish I could do more. For example, some people have said, what about member exclusive content? I can't do it. Anything that I put behind a member's paywall, people could become a member and immediately just share it with the entire internet anyway. And my detractor said many years ago that if I ever did Patreon-only content or member, subscriber-only content, that's exactly what they would do. So I can't do early content or exclusive content for members because they would ruin it for me, okay? That immediately eliminates like 90% of what I could do for members, being honest. Now, some people have said, what about members-only game nights? Well, would that be cool? Yeah, for a small group of members. I mean, right now, I have 365 members. How many would want to do a members-only game night? 20, 30, right? But you're telling me to take away entire chunks of my streams for that when I'm already behind on so many game releases. You understand that that would be counterproductive. It would be like, so it benefits a very small group of people, but it screws over the very large group of people who will just want more of the games I'm playing. On top of that, there just aren't any games I want to do members-only style playing. Seriously, like, what, Halo? It was good for a couple of months, and now it's completely stagnant, and I really don't feel like going back to it at this point. King of Fighters died within 6 days. You know? So that's what I mean, like, there's just not a lot going on in the realm of multiplayer games. Many years ago, in the fall, there'd be 10 games, seriously, 10 fucking games that all had great multiplayer components. You'd have, like, a Call of Duty / Battlefield or both. Then you'd have, like, Assassin's Creed. Then you'd have, like, a driving game. Then you'd have a fighting game. Then you'd have a hybrid shooter game. And you'd have, like, such a variety of games that you could play multiplayer that I would do entire year-end multiplayer events with my viewers that would last a week or more. Today, the multiplayer component is shit. It's like, unless you're playing these co-op games, co-op, you know, sort of battle royale like Apex Legends, or a co-op looter shooter like Destiny, like, what is there for multiplayer? The multiplayer has completely changed over the last decade, and so that's really not a viable reward either. It's just not. We've talked about this a lot over the last few months. There doesn't seem to be anything I can do to improve stuff for members. Here's what would probably get people to become members. If you become a member and you can use the emotes of that member on someone else's stream, you'd probably want to become a member just like over on Twitch, right? What if you became a member and you had special privileges unlocked, right? Your name looks a little different depending on how long you become a member, like a highlight or something, or maybe you get access to exclusive emotes or things like that. You know what I mean? Like, give some kind of a concrete benefit for becoming a member outside of the standard stuff. YouTube hasn't done it. They claimed they were going to do it, and they just won't. I can't make YouTube stop dragging their feet. So why am I going to harp on memberships when I can't control them? Okay? That being said, HoboX actually says the emotes on YouTube are basically unusable because they're so small anyway. That's another good point. You're absolutely right there, too. That being said, I came up with an idea. A horrible idea, but a delightful idea nonetheless. All right? So I have something in the works. I don't want to spoil it yet. But I do have something that possibly could make some people want to become members. I don't know if it would work or not, honestly. I don't know if it would work. Because I thought things like the viewer's choice coming back and everything would work, and it didn't. We got close to hitting the goal, but we still didn't. Okay? So, let me put it this way. I have an idea, And I think we may implement this idea next month. It's too late this month. We're already almost halfway into March. Why start announcing new ideas and new goals and stuff now? It wouldn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? But this idea, you know, could be interesting. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'm gonna let it stew a little more. Got a little work on my end to work on and think about, and then I'll let you know the idea. Maybe for April. Okay. All right. Anonymous. An anonymous tipper tipped me $1.50, says, man, I'm absolutely loving your Dark Souls 4 playthrough. Me too. I said at launch it was Dark Souls 4. I don't think I could have actually been more correct in knowing that now half the bosses are from Dark Souls 3. Or 1. Okay, thank you for that. And Shadrick the Shafted tipped me $5, says, I'm the lord of all that is golden, as long as it's in the form of a long handle or another object similarly. Okay, very nice. Thank you very much, Shadrick. Okay. All right. Anything else, guys? Nadodur says, what if I get a new member, I'll take off my shirt and scream into the mic? Oh, there's plenty of other content creators who already do things like that. Most of them aren't on YouTube. Most of them are over on Twitch taking their clothes off. So, I think I'm in the wrong spot for that. What's up, Dalseems Elephants? I'm excited for Street Fighter tonight as well. I really am. Excuse me. Store Brand Loyalist says, it's up to you to come up with benefits on your own based on the tier of contribution. That's why YouTube lets you write the benefits for each tier. Correct. But again, I have come up with all I can really do. It's not like I'm a different kind of content creator and I can make different kinds of content for members. I'm not. I think that is the erroneous thing about YouTube, is they're assuming that everyone who makes content on the website is someone who can do exclusive on-demand content for certain levels of a membership or something, which is false. I'm not someone who even makes offline videos outside of the Daily Wrap. Everything I do is on a live stream. I don't even have editing software. You know what I'm saying? YouTube does these weird things where they just make incorrect assumptions that everyone who uses their site is the same kind of person. They've done this over the years. Well, everyone who uses YouTube basically is trying to make their own television channel, and so that's why we use all these metrics of performance based on a television channel. Ladies and gentlemen, no one who makes content for YouTube is trying to pretend like they're an actual television channel. I can tell you one single fucking person or business on YouTube that wants to pretend like they're a real TV channel, but YouTube has been using metrics like this for over a decade because they're stupid. They're too smart for their own good. They go to college, Ivy League schools, oh, I know all this shit about shit, and then they come to YouTube and they run it one way that literally is not in line with the people who use the site for a living. And then they make these weird changes and judgments off of it that makes no sense. Oh, you should make the tiers. Me, I should make the tiers. Okay? Well, I'm already streaming 6 days a week full time. I'm already putting out the content people want me to do. What additional content exactly should I be putting out for the tiers? How about you do some effort, because I give you free content to make ad revenue on every day, and you add some features to the site that people would want, since memberships is your deal, not mine. I don't run memberships. You do. It's your business. So you add attractive things to being a member, not me. That would make more sense. But no, they put all the pressure on the content creator as if I'm supposed to be some fucking genius that's going to come up with things that aren't going to already tear into my existing time in business. It's ludicrous. It is. It should be they actually put some effort in for the money that they make on ad revenue, but they don't. That is correct. When YouTube is designing things for the site, they should be designing things that help the people who make the content for the site, not things that help the business behind the site, and then every person who makes content for the site has to shuffle to adjust to what they just pushed out because no one knew about it and it makes no sense. But that's exactly how it works. Here's a new feature. What does this have to do with what I do? Nothing, but figure out a way to implement it. That's what Shorts is. Not one person on YouTube was ready or cared about Shorts. Now, all of a sudden, Shorts is what the focus is. Shorts will make you big money because we're pushing extra revenue and profit into Shorts, so make Shorts. So now I'm supposed to adjust my content to have Shorts just because you're fucking trying to copy TikTok? That's how YouTube operates. Only Use Me Blade tipped me $1.50 and says, would you do a stream with your family, Cat, Derek, and Jasper? Derek is not part of my family. You think you're funny. I'm not even going to read the rest of that because you're a jackass. Atlas Telemon tipped me $1.50. He says, trust me, full beard streak. Again, Atlas, if number one, if my beard didn't bother me when I grow it out, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But I know it would. I've tried it, and it actually really bothered me after like maybe 2 weeks of growing it out and not shaving it. It was like, oh God, it was just uncontrollable. I was constantly scratching and touching my face everywhere because it was a real bother. Now, you didn't know that because back then was before I was a live streamer. I grew it out in late 2010, early 2011, and you didn't see it in the videos, but it was like, oh, it just definitely bothered me a hell of a lot, okay? In addition, my wife doesn't want me to have a full beard. She's outright told me she likes just having the smaller beard. She wouldn't want me to grow out a big beard. You want to know one of the truthful factors about this is? I think it's because a lot of people out here in Washington are hipsters, and a lot of hipsters tend to grow these, like, big Paul Bunyan-like beards because they think it's cool and hip, when in reality, it's like, you're not a man just because you can grow a fucking beard. I mean, you could still be a moron, or a sissy, or whatever. Just because you're growing facial hair doesn't make you any better than anyone else, but they actually act like it does. And I think it kind of irks her to see people act like that, and it's like, I don't want to have you growing the same beard, too, as these assholes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I think that's a part of it, too. Okay. Sissy is not a slur, you idiot. Sissy is a slur. You're a moron. If you think that's a slur, you're seriously. Grow the fuck up. Oh my God. Everything's a slur. Everything is. Right? Every word is a slur. Everyone can be offended by any word, so fuck off. Zelda Shadow says, I always have trouble sleeping with a beard. I'm sure that would be a situation too. Like if I have a full beard and I'm sleeping and moving, you know, it feels different. Feels weird, right? I wouldn't want that. I really hate to say it. And this is my opinion, you could disagree. I feel like there are men out there, all right, who literally grow a beard just to try to act like, look at me, I'm a man, I'm a manly man, and I'm a tough guy because I can grow a beard. All you do is let the hair grow on your fucking face. You don't do anything for that to happen. It just happens. It doesn't prove your manliness. You're not more virile or strong because you have a fucking beard on your face at all, you know. But people purposely, I know for a fact there's guys who think that way. That look, now I look more manly or tough or strong or attractive because I have a big beard. You don't. You really don't. I'm not triggered by men who grow beards. I'm telling you things that I've seen firsthand. I've known people like that. I know people right now like that. Sissy is not an anti-transgender slur. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. That word existed long before there were discussions about transgender. And by the way, I'm totally supportive of people who are transgender. I could care less. I really don't care. Be happy with your life. Do whatever you want to do. If you feel like you should be one gender and you're the other, fine. Be happy. Really. I want everyone to be happy. I don't think anyone should be out there telling someone, don't be happy because it's not in line with societal norms or because your religion says this or that. Do what makes you happy. It's been scientifically proven that we all start one way, and at one point a hormone hits that either makes us male or female. That doesn't mean that there can't be mistakes. There doesn't mean that things won't go through one way or the other, or that you might feel like you should be the other because maybe you were the other at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, science backs up these things, but people are so in line with very small-minded mentalities that they just have to think, oh no, oh it's bad. We can't ever have anything to, no, that's unacceptable. That's taboo. That's, you know what I mean? Fucking, what do they say? You know, I'm trying to think what the word is for it, but I am of the impression that absolutely everyone should be happy with however they want to live their life. You can be male, female, somewhere in between. I don't give a shit. Why would I give a shit? It's your life, not mine. It's none of my business. I shouldn't be fucking with your life to begin with, right? So anyone who thinks like that, I think needs to have an open mind. They need to stop with that little tunnel vision. I only think one way shit. Let people just be happy, okay? But the word sissy is not an insult specifically towards transgender people. That's the most silly thing I've ever heard. The word existed way before this was even a topic of discussion. The problem is people like to change things over time, which is bullshit, right? It's bullshit. You shouldn't have a word be so harmful like that you let it like actually hurt you in that way when it doesn't even, that's not even what the fucking word means. Maybe the problem is people like to take things and weaponize them, right? That word is not meant to be like that, but because people use it in a weaponized way against transgender people, now it becomes something that feels like a negative thing. But I don't use it that way, okay? I don't. I'm not like that at all. I'm very open-minded, and I want everyone to be happy, so please understand if I ever use that word, sissy, I'm not using it as anything towards transgender people at all. That's not my intention, and I hope that people don't take it that way, okay? Okay. Man on wheels, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Trust me, I'm not insulted or I'm not angry. I feel like I should clarify myself if people actually are... They actually get hurt by that word. That's messed up. In my opinion, that's messed up. A word that used to be used in common speech, right? Every day, people would use that word, no problem. But now all of a sudden, apparently, it's really bad against certain people. That's fucked up. Anyway, we really get to some interesting conversations here on the PreStream podcast sometimes, don't we? Okay, what else would we like to talk about today, guys? Am I ever going to bring back viewer's choice? That was the intention the last month, actually. The intention last month was we hit the members goal and viewer's choice returns, and people can nominate and vote on games, and one would become a full playthrough. I was fully intending that by the end of March, we were going to have a viewer's choice playthrough hitting my rotation, and we came up like 12 members short. I couldn't get 12 people to become a member because YouTube would not make it attractive. I don't know what else to say. When do I think I'll finish Elden Ring? June. I don't know, because I don't know how much content is actually in Elden Ring. Like, what I know right now, there's Limgrave, Liurnia, Caelid, and the Capital. That's all I know right now. I'm not aware of what else is in the game. So if there's another 2, 3, 4 areas, and each area is taking me like half a week to a week to beat, it could be months. I don't know. I don't know how much is in it, man. And I'm playing it nonstop now, too. All right, you're out of here. I'm not even going to read what that idiot said. That's hilarious. I wonder, hold on a second. Let's see, how far am I into Elden Ring right now? I am 32 hours in, okay? So some people have said they're over 60 hours in and not done yet. So if you think about it, okay? Really, if you think about it, you're talking at least another month. Even me playing it as much as I'm playing, at least another month. But there are going to be new releases eventually I'm going to be playing, you know? Ooh. As trollish as Terry is trying to be saying this statement, he said, I thought you couldn't hit the member goal because Only Iced Coffee canceled all his sock memberships. How would I even know if that were the case, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe that is true. Maybe there's 1 or 2 people who've come in here since I've been a YouTube streamer and have done a bunch of sock memberships. But how would I possibly know that? That's even on the side of trolling, my detractors saying shit like that. There's no concrete evidence either way. It's always a speculation, a possibility that there maybe are some people, excuse me, who are, you know, trying to support in ways like that. But how would we ever know? We would never know that. So why even waste your time on that shit? That's what always gets me about these conspiracy theories and shit. Like, people always, saying silly stuff like that. And it's like, well, how would we ever know? Right? How would I ever know what's really going on with behind the scenes stuff like that? I would never. There's no way I would ever possibly know. Right? Zoya, I'm checking on this right now for you. See here? Checking on a few things. Zoya, I don't know. Zoya said that they're trying to do a super chat and getting an error. I don't know what to tell you. I just checked and everything on my end looks the same. Nothing's changed. It's not like there was any notice or any notification saying something's not working or nothing. Everything looks like it's working fine, so I don't know why that would be. I wish I could answer that for you. I really honestly don't know. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone else has tried to super chat, so I couldn't tell. Unless someone else tried to super chat and confirmed. It could be a YouTube side thing. It's definitely not anything on my side or my channel. I just checked and everything's working on my channel or my side. Okay? Man on Wheels says, I would always recommend, he says he would recommend AEW wrestling because AEW wrestling doesn't waste your time with storylines. There's always a payoff. So that sounds good to me. At this point, I'm not interested at all in watching wrestling regardless, but that was always my big gripe with WWE is you'd watch for a long time, invest in a character, and then there's zero payoff, and they drop the whole thing, and then it's just a waste of everyone's time. I'm glad that AEW doesn't do that. No, Zoya, I didn't get any, I'm telling you, I didn't get any emails, nothing. I haven't gotten any emails from YouTube, there's no alerts, oh my god, nothing like that. You know, everything here looks fine. So I don't know why you wouldn't be able to super chat. Everything you literally just super chatted a few minutes ago, right? We won't know unless someone else tries to super chat and confirms that they can't super chat too, but it's on my end it says everything's still active and working. So perhaps all super chats are down. This happens, right? This does happen on YouTube. This has happened before, I believe. Last year, I think this happened for sure. I remember this distinctly happening. Someone saying that they wanted to super chat last year, and the same exact thing was happening. There was an error for a while, and then it got cleared up. This has also happened on Twitch, too. Of course, Guts. Let's all have a chill weekend. I agree with you. You can't super chat if you're banned or hidden. Zoya is not banned or hidden. Nope. Yeah, and everything, like I said, everything on my end is fine. Membership's working. You click on supers, it says super chat activity still working. So I have no idea. Could be that the thing's glitched or messed up today and it happened right during the live stream. Right? Who knows? No, there's no lost partnership. Everything is fine right now. If you haven't noticed, nothing has changed. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh my god. People, you know what it is? People are now in this mindset because of what happened on Twitch a year ago. They're like freaking out when there's not, I'm telling you, there's nothing. Everything's fine. It would have said on my dashboard, there you go, there's a super chat. Audio Object just did a super chat, says hello, Phil. So yeah, just like I thought. Okay. So let's get Audio Object. Thank you, Audio Object, for testing that for us. And Cracker Jacks just did a super chat and said, hello, Zoya. See? See, the sky is not falling. I swear, the sky is not falling, guys. Things are fine. People are freaking out over nothing. I know. What it is, we're all like, we're all punch drunk from it, right? We're serious, we're all punch drunk from it because so much shit has happened to me over the years. Like, would you even be surprised if some bullshit happened, right? But the good news is, by the way, on YouTube, it's not like that either. On YouTube, if something goes wrong, you get notified, and there's levels of escalation. Like, let's say, for example, God forbid, YouTube feels like I did something in a video or a stream that's against their terms of service. They would flag that video or stream. They would notify me and say, here's your step 1 warning. You know, like, and YouTube, it's a 3-strike policy, too. It's not like, oh, you're just gone. Say bye-bye. That's not how it works on YouTube. So I'm really not worried about that kind of stuff at all, right? Terry says, do I think Only Iced Coffee will come back one day? The thing is, I don't know personally what to believe or not believe about the shit that people say about people like that. I really don't. Like, in my experience, all right, every interaction, everything I've ever had with Only Iced Coffee was a positive thing. Everything I've ever heard negative about the guy was always something that happened behind the scenes. There was a leak. There was a conversation behind the scenes where he talked shit about you, or there was this or that. I don't know anything about it. All I know is what happens right here on my streams, and maybe every once in a while, a conversation here or there. You know, every interaction I ever had with the guy was a positive one. Whether he was talking on stream, contributing on stream, modding for me, you know. There was, but people all say, well, I have evidence of this and that, and he did this, and there was this and that, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't bother with the white noise drama bullshit. I can't. I'm way too old for that shit, and I gotta run my own business here. I'm not listening to your little kitty shit to think that's gonna derail everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? So in that regards, no, I don't let any of that stuff bother me at all. And I don't know anything about it. Okay? Okay. G Dizzy has tipped me $10. Says, shall the dicks of lightning be with you today? Thank you to G Dizzy. And I think they will be. Like I said, I just leveled up my lightning magic quite significantly to the point where I think we're going to be doing tons of faith damage today, which is really good. Death Metal Jedi, maybe there will be a New Vegas too. Maybe there won't be. I'd like to think maybe there would be. I would love that, but there you go. All right, guys, anything else? Anything else, or are we good? This is funny. He didn't see that video. I don't see any videos. I don't watch those shit videos. There's no point. There's literally no point in watching any of this crap. It's just white noise around my business and around what I like to do for a living. It is. It's just bullshit. It's everyone trying to bring this stuff down. I refuse to be bothered or inundated by any of that shit. Let all these morons talk to each other, waste each other's time with all this drama shit. I'm not a part of it. I refuse to be a part of it. I'm here to play games and have fun and chill with you guys, period. You know? That's why I don't know. Who gives a fuck about any of that shit? What does my shirt say? It says, I'm pressing buttons, and it has directions as if you're playing like a fighting game. But I feel that this shirt both applies to fighting games as well as any other game where I have issues with the controls, a la Elden Ring. So there you go. All right, guys, anything else? Or shall we begin with Elden Ring now? What do you think? Can I do a live reaction? Yes. Oh! Okay, there we go. It's out of the way. What was for breakfast? I had a iced coffee, and I had a jalapeno and egg burrito. All right, guys. Let's end the pre-stream podcast. Thanks. Let's get into the game. Very nice.